Hey everybody, so I've been looking for the best e-commerce platform for a while because I feel like it's high time I got myself a piece of that billion-dollar pie. Today, I decided to test out Odoo and see how it stacks up against Shopify. Also, if you haven't signed up for Shopify just yet, you can use my link down below to get started with it. I'm going to split my comparison up into 3 parts to make it easier for you guys to decide, and I'll give my own verdict at the end of this review as well. Remember that this is just my experience with each of these platforms, so your mileage may vary. But with that said, let's kick things off by comparing their price points. Now, the first thing that attracted me to Odoo was the free service it provides. I heard that you didn't have to pay to try it out, but it turns out that this is just for a single app. To be clear, if you want to use just one of their features, you can create an app for that free of charge. But what I was actually able to do with the app was seriously limited. I ended up going for the standard plan, which costs $9.10 a month. There's also a custom plan for $13.60 a month, but I decided not to try it because I didn't really see how the extra features could benefit me from an e-commerce standpoint. One thing I absolutely loved about Odoo was that it doesn't charge you a transaction fee. Seriously, no matter how many sales you make, you don't owe Odoo a dime apart from that subscription fee. But at the same time, I realized pretty quickly that Odoo makes its money in a very different way. Basically, any extra module that you want to incorporate into your e-commerce site requires payment. That can make it pretty expensive to create a comprehensive site, because you need to include a bunch of different modules if you want your customers to have a decent experience. To be honest, this kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I felt like the pricing wasn't what was advertised. By comparison, like Shopify was super straightforward with their pricing, at least in my opinion. You've got 3 pricing tiers over in Shopify's corner of the world. And by the way, if you pay annually, you get a 25% off discount on all the subscription fees. So you can take that for what it is, and I'll be referring to the prices based off of this discount. So keep that in mind throughout the video. Okay, the pricing tiers start with the basic plan, which will run you about $19 a month. I also had to pay a 2% transaction card for using a third-party platform, which was kind of steep if you ask me. The good thing is, these transaction fees got bumped down to just 1% with the Shopify package, plus a monthly fee of $49. And then there's the advanced plan, which is honestly just a dream come true for folks looking to scale their e-commerce business. The transaction fee goes down to a measly 0.6%, which really helped me to keep my profit margins high. There's also so much you can bear when you're trying to get a consistent cash flow going, you know? Overall, I'd say that Odoo gets a 4 out of 5 in the pricing department. The extra charges for modules forced me to dock a point, but I do think that they offer a pretty affordable setup, all things considered. Shopify gets a 4.5 out of 5 because they're upfront about how much they charge and their transaction fees are pretty competitive. Next up, I'm going to break down each platform's features. Odoo has about 30 modules to choose from. You have to pay for each one, but I guess that's not such a big deal considering they don't charge you for transactions or anything like that. And to be fair, these modules cover a pretty wide range of features that can take your e-commerce store to the next level. Like for example, there's the customer relationship management tool that lets you handle queries and complaints with the push of a button. I was able to put out some fires thanks to this handy tool, and it's not the only thing that made Odoo worth the price. Their inventory management system is so great that it allows you to handle multiple warehouses at the same time. And there are point of sale tools too, which can speed up the transaction process and get that revenue on an upward trend. I haven't even gotten to the SEO tools yet. Like, I was able to optimize my product description based on all of the tips I got from Odoo's SEO guidelines. And the automation features allowed for a smooth marketing campaign rollout. I was seriously at ease while selling my products through this platform, so I think it's fair to give them a score for this round. But here's the thing. These scores are always comparative. Shopify has all of the features I talked about, plus a bunch more that might just push it past the finish line. Just for starters, you get 10 separate inventory locations, which is great if you want to expand into a regional or even global market. I know I've set my sights on some foreign shores because I want my e-commerce business to service people all around the world. Having multiple inventory locations helps with that, and it happens to cut down on shipping costs as well. You even have localized global selling capabilities. Technically speaking, you're restricted to just 3 markets at first, but let's be real here. You're not going to be able to manage more than 3 global markets at first. And if you ever get to a point where you want to expand further, the advanced plan that I signed up for lets you add additional markets for $59 per month. Considering the revenue each additional market will bring in, I'd say that's an absolute steal. Before I rate each of the platforms, there's one last Shopify feature I need to tell you guys about. It's my absolute favorite feature because it helped me send my conversion rates through the roof. I'm talking about the abandoned cart recovery feature. Basically, Shopify creates a list of all the abandoned carts your storefront has had in the past and gives you the option of sending the respective users a gentle reminder to complete their transaction. You'd be surprised at how many users end up buying those products. So this feature really takes the cake for me. I'm giving Shopify a 5 out of 5 here, because those features are absolutely out of this world if you ask me. Odoo gets a 4 out of 5. Its features are respectable, but they just don't compare to Shopify's brilliant offering. Finally, let's dive into the user experience before I give my final verdict. The modular approach kind of works against Odoo here, because it can be a bit overwhelming for users that aren't super tech savvy. I know my way around tech, so I was able to get my storefront up and running in no time, but that might not be the case for some. But in all honesty, if you have a basic grasp of how web design works, you should have no trouble getting the most out of Odoo. But what if you're just a simple business owner that doesn't want to bother with all the high-tech stuff? Well, Shopify's right up your alley in that case. Seriously, I was amazed by just how simple it was to use. There's a step-by-step process that guided me from the moment I set up my account to the moment I posted my first product for sale. And there was no chance of messing anything up along the way. I feel like Shopify's intuitive, user-friendly design deserves at least a 4.5 out of 5. Odoo might be a tad complicated, but anything under a 4 out of 5 would be straight up unfair. And that's that. Shopify is my official pick for the e-commerce crown. With a final score of 13.5 out of 15, it's proven once and for all it's the king of e-commerce. I had a great experience with Shopify. Even though it can be a little expensive, the features more than make up for that though, as does the straightforward user interface that anyone's grandma could use. Odoo didn't do as well as I'd hoped, but a final score of 12 out of 15 isn't too shabby either. I just felt like the modular approach made setting up a storefront more expensive than it needed to be, not to mention how complicated it made the user experience. You do get some great features in the bargain, so it's not a complete miss. The only reason Shopify won out is because its pricing is easier to understand. The features proved to be superior in the end. Also, if you haven't signed up for Shopify yet, you can use my link down below to get started with it. So there you have it. Are you going to use either of these platforms or give either of these platforms a try? Let me know your thoughts if you do, but that's all I have for now. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.